Hollywood in the 1950s, glamorous, mysterious, and sometimes tragically short-lived. Among all the stars who rose to fame during this golden era, none burned brighter or faded faster than James Dean. A Hollywood icon destined for greatness, whose life came to a violent and untimely end in a crash that stunned the world. But why does his death still captivate us today? Was it a simple accident, or is there something more beneath the surface? Let's explore the shocking details of James Dean's fatal crash, the curse of his car, and the legacy that refuses to fade. Who is James Dean? Before we dive into the tragic events of that fateful day, let's remember why James Dean was more than just another Hollywood actor. Born in 1931 in Marion, Indiana, Dean grew up in a small town, but always had big dreams. His rebellious nature and brooding good looks quickly caught the attention of Hollywood producers. His breakthrough came with East of Eden in 1955, but it was Rebel Without a Cause that turned him into a symbol of teenage angst and defiance. Dean had the rare gift of connecting with audiences emotionally. His portrayals were raw, vulnerable, and full of life. Yet, despite his youthful appearance, he had another passion off-screen, a passion that would ultimately cost him his life: fast cars. James Dean, the racer. While Dean's fame was rapidly rising in Hollywood, his love for racing was something he took very seriously. He wasn't just a casual driver. Dean competed in several amateur races. By 1955, he had already placed third in the Palm Springs Road Race and second in another race at Bakersfield. He wasn't just acting like a daredevil on screen. This was the real James Dean. And then came his new obsession, his Porsche 550 Spyder. Dean named it "Little Bastard," and it was a beast of a machine. But little did he know, this car would soon become infamous in Hollywood folklore. September 30, 1995. Now, let's set the stage for the tragic events of September 30, 1955. Dean was excited. He had just finished shooting Giant and was headed to Salinas, California, for a weekend of racing. With him in the Porsche was his mechanic, Rolf W. Therich, while his friend Bill Hickman and a photographer followed in a Ford station wagon. Dean's trip began smoothly, but the calm wouldn't last long. At approximately 5:45 p.m. Dean was speeding down Route 466 when they approached an intersection with Route 41. Driving towards them was a young student, Donald Turnipseed, in a Ford Tudor. He was making a left turn. The impact. The Porsche collided almost head-on with Turnipseed's Ford. The impact was brutal. Witnesses reported that the cars hit with such force, it looked as though they had exploded upon contact. Dean's Spyder was completely demolished, with parts of the car scattered across the road. W. Therich, Dean's mechanic, was thrown from the car and survived, though severely injured. Turnipseed walked away with only minor injuries. But James Dean wasn't so fortunate. Death and aftermath. James Dean was rushed to the Paso Robles War Memorial Hospital, but he was pronounced dead on arrival at 6:20 p.m. His cause of death? A broken neck, along with multiple internal injuries. The world lost one of its brightest stars that evening, and Hollywood was plunged into mourning. Dean's death was front-page news across the globe. Fans couldn't believe it. A young man at the height of his career, gone in the blink of an eye. His third and final film, Giant, was released posthumously, solidifying his status as a cultural icon.
basement apartment I rented with you.
The Curse of Little Bastard. But here's where the story takes a strange twist. Many believe that James Dean's Porsche 550 Spyder Little Bastard was cursed. After the accident, the wreckage of the car was sold for parts, and those parts went on to cause a string of bizarre accidents and fatalities. Legend has it that the engine and drivetrain were sold to two racers. One was killed when his car went out of control, and the other was seriously injured in a crash. Another man, who bought two of the tires from the wreck, later claimed both tires blew out simultaneously, nearly causing his death. And in a final twist, the remains of Little Bastards mysteriously disappeared in 1960 while being transported on a flatbed truck. To this day, no one knows what happened to the wreckage. Legacy and what if? James Dean's death at just 24 years old has left many wondering what if? What if he had lived longer? What more could he have achieved? While we'll never know the answers, his legacy is forever etched in Hollywood history. Dean remains a symbol of rebellion, youth, and the harsh reality that sometimes life is far too short. His influence lives on in pop culture, with filmmakers, actors, and fans keeping his memory alive more than 60 years after his death.
Remembering the holiday party we had with the crew.
Thanks for watching. James Dean may have left us too soon, but his impact on film and culture will never be forgotten. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe for more stories about Hollywood's brightest stars and their untold tragedy. And let me know in the comments, do you believe in the curse of Little Bastard? Let's talk about it.